1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumera Kawal. First, the headlines. Prime Minister was informed today that implementation of COVID-19 SOPs are being ensured in trains and airplanes. Minister for Climate Change says National Risk Management Fund has been established to deal with the climate change and natural disasters. Pakistan Railways has announced to run 3 special trains to facilitate passengers on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. Iranian military leadership has lauded the professionalism of Pakistan armed forces and sacrifices in fight against terrorism. World's leading rights activists have strongly criticized the Modi government for crackdown on free speech in India. In Libya, protesters have stormed the parliament building in eastern city of Tobruk. And now the news in detail. Minister for Railways Khwaja Saad Rafiq called on Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in Lahore today. During the meeting, the country's current political situation came under discussion. The Prime Minister was informed that implementation on the COVID-related SOPs is being ensured in trains and aeroplanes during travelling. Khwaja Saad Rafiq also briefed the Prime Minister about reforms in railways and aviation sectors. Minister for Health Abdul Qadir Patel has urged the nation to strictly follow health guidelines during Eid al-Adha holidays and avoid unnecessary movements to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Talking to PTV News, he said public should avoid mass gatherings and follow all protocols and SOPs. The minister also appealed to religious scholars to ensure social distancing at mosques and urged public to avoid hugging and shaking hands after Eid prayers. The government has decided to switch government buildings to solar energy under Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's green energy vision. In a statement, Minister for Information and Broadcasting Maryam Aurangzeb said decision was taken during an important meeting of the task force on solar energy chaired by PMLN leader Shahid Khaqan Abbasi today. Maryam Aurangzeb said relevant authorities have been directed to prepare a feasibility report for shifting government buildings to solar energy. Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah says all coalition political parties are striving hard to put the country on the right track. He was addressing a ceremony to pay tribute to martyrs of the police in Islamabad today. Rana Sanaullah said the government took a tough decision to save the country from economic crisis. He said Pakistan also faced damage to its economy worth $150 billion in fight against terrorism. On the occasion, paying tribute to martyrs of the police, he said Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has allowed disbursing 1.22 billion rupees to families of martyrs. Federal Minister for Climate Change Sherry Rehman has said that National Risk Management Fund has been established to deal with climate change and natural disasters. At a meeting with Sindh Chief Minister Syed Murad Ali Shah in Karachi today, she discussed the ways and means to protect sea environment. The Chief Minister informed the meeting that a scheme costing an amount of 2 billion rupees is being prepared to produce and flourish fish in Karachi, Thatta, Sujawil and Badin districts of the province. It was decided that community police system will be established to control fishing before it flourishes. It was also decided in the meeting that tourism facilities will be introduced at Manchar Lake in the province with the start of boating and different kinds of water sports. On this occasion, Sherry Rehman said that an international company is ready to clean Manchar Lake. She further asked Sindh government to prepare a scheme in this regard for which federal government will provide assistance. Pakistan Railways has announced to run 3 special trains to facilitate the passengers on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. The spokesperson of Pakistan Railways said that the first Eid special train will leave from Quetta to Peshawar on Friday at 10 a.m. Second special train will leave Karachi for Lahore on Friday, while third Eid special train from Lahore to Karachi on 13th of this month. Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee General Nadeem Raza, who is an official visit to Iran, called on President of Iran Sayyid Ibrahim Rasool Saadati. Matters of bilateral strategic interest and regional security environment, including strengthening of bilateral security and defense cooperation between the two countries, were brought into discussion. Both sides displayed desire to initiate meaningful and long-lasting security and defense cooperation between the two countries. Meanwhile, during separate meetings with Iranian military leadership, both sides highlighted that common borders should be borders of peace and friendship. Iranian military leadership lauded the professionalism of Pakistan Armed Forces and acknowledged their sacrifices in fight against terrorism. This is Radio Pakistan. The illegally detained All-Party Hurriyat Conference chairman Musarrat Alam Butt has said that Modi-led fascist Indian government is attempting to mislead the international community about the ground situation of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, but will never succeed in its nefarious designs. Musarrat Alam Butt, in his message from New Delhi's infamous Tihar jail, said the Modi regime's plan to host the G20 summit in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is part of its ploys to give credence to its false claims of normalcy in the territory. He appealed to the G20 members not to attend the meeting in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, which is an internationally recognized disputed territory. The All-Party Hurriyat Conference chairman maintained that the occupied territory is witnessing grave human rights violations at the hands of Indian troops, and an end to these abuses is the foremost responsibility of the world community. Meanwhile, the occupation authorities shifted over 50 illegally detained Kashmiris, including Hurriyat leaders Muhammad Yusuf Falahi, Adil Zargar and Dr. Muhammad Shafi, from Kot Bhalwal jail in Jammu to the prisons in the Indian states of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Human rights activists have called on Modi-led fascist Indian government to immediately release Teesta Seetalwad, RB Sri Kumar and Sanjeev Bhatt, as well as the fact-checking journalist Mohammad Zubair. In a statement, as many as 260 human rights activists, intellectuals, journalists, artists, and community leaders from various parts of the world have strongly condemned the arrest of these personalities in India. They also slammed the Indian government over a crackdown on free speech. The officials of the United States and interim Afghan government have continued talks in Qatar to discuss aid to deal with the aftermath of devastating earthquake. According to a statement of the State Department, the United States reiterated an earlier pledge of $55 million in new assistance for earthquake relief. The statement further stated that the two sides discussed in detail the U.S. actions to preserve $3.5 billion in Afghan central bank reserves for the benefit of the Afghan people. The interim government of Taliban in Afghanistan is seeking a way to unlock some of the country's foreign reserves currently frozen by the United States. In Libya, protesters who were demonstrating against deteriorating living conditions and political deadlock have stormed the parliament building in the eastern city of Tobruk. According to local media, the protesters managed to penetrate the parliament building and committed acts of vandalism. The protesters burned tires on the occasion to vent their anger against the warring parties. They were also demanding the dissolution of parliament and new elections. In Iran, a series of strong earthquakes has rocked southern parts of the country today, killing at least 5 people and causing damage to dozens of buildings. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the quakes, including the two of magnitude 6.0, struck west of the major port city of Bandar Abbas in Hormozgan province. And finally, the weather report. Humid and partly cloudy weather is expected in most districts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain with wind, thunder shower is likely to prevail in Islamabad, Punjab, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Lower Sindh, and eastern and central Balochistan and Kashmir. To end the news, here are some of the headlines once again. Prime Minister was informed today that the implementation of COVID-19 SOPs are being ensured in trains and aeroplanes. Pakistan Railways has announced to run 3 special trains to facilitate passengers on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. In Libya, protesters have stormed the parliament building in eastern city of Tobruk. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News Official.